when you think about anime, you think about cartoons. You think about cartoons, you think about maybe Japan, or maybe you think about nerds and geeks and just shut-ins. Culture is shifting. Anime is becoming a little bit more mainstream, which is fantastic. More people are enjoying anime. More people are interested in maybe one or two animes, which is fine. Just another medium entertainment. But when it comes to anime for me, it is a little bit more profound. Yes, I can consume it, have fun, crack some smiles here and there. Just like anything, I can do sports, I can go to church, I can go watch a movie at a theater, I can go skiing, I can go snowboarding, I can go bowling, I can go get myself in a relationship. We can do anything in this world. But with anime, I choose to make it more profound. I choose to allow it to pull me into its story, its lore, its characters. And guess what? Whether I'm having fun, whether I'm laughing, it becomes greater than just an animation, just a pretty picture. It has meaning, it has messages. And each time I find these gems, each time I find this message, I try to make it part of me. Something that will strengthen me. Something that will mold me. Maybe not. It's just sad when people just consume and they're just with a check marking it. They're check marked it and they're done with it, which is fine. In my opinion, I think a lot of people do this. And for us who have real hobbies and choose to allow it to teach us, more power to you. But here I try to collect my thoughts on these characters, on these scenes, on the story, on the message. How does this help me in the long run? What does it mean for us in this real world? How can I use this to better myself? No one really looks for that silver lining when it comes to certain hobbies or mediums. A movie, you don't really expect much. And someone who as emotionless as I am, though I do get compassionate here and there when it comes to rom-coms, because, a relationship is probably the closest thing to being very serious, because relationships drive society, relationships create babies, and they propagate life. Relationships. And within relationships, you become a mother, you become a father. And being a mother and a father is extremely important. As someone, we all have mothers and fathers, and they had to meet somehow. And sometimes you have shitty families, such as I did. I had a shitty fucking family. Shitty mom, shitty dad. Of course, when I was younger. They're still kind of shitty, but in their own little ways. That's why I get really passionate about relationships, rom-coms. Now, I have a lot to say. And so, throughout these animes, this one right here is Made in Abyss. It has a lot of dark undertones. There's a lot of darkness in this world. And I just simply make every episode count. I don't look, I can enjoy something, I can laugh at something, I can feel a certain way about something. But guys, we need to somehow make it greater than what it is. Make it way greater. Make the message be more impactful. How can this anime make me a better person? Like in Made in Abyss, we have a lot of chaos. And it's the perfect example of this world. It's just so perfect. We're diving into this abyss. This world is one giant hellhole for a lot of us. And anime helps us not just to cope, but through the storyline, the characters. It sends a message that makes us just not perfect, but just a little bit better. Just a little bit more human. If I chose to do boxing, if I chose to do karate, if I chose to do arts and crafts, if I chose a different medium, or if you choose something different, it doesn't have to be anime. But how is it making you better? I see a lot of people just, they cling to drama and all this stuff. That just like, bro, I'm just simply speaking about anime. I'm not into the whole drama of, certain people's lives. Like, why talk about other people? Now, when it comes to politics and all this stuff, it's very important. I get it. War sucks. But there's a message in anime, and I'm here for it. Whether it's a message of joy, trials and tribulations, relationships, how to better oneself. Each anime has something to offer. Each anime can impact you in a way that maybe you didn't even think it could. It just, it's not necessarily sad if you just consume it and it's like, whatever. I had fun. On to the next one. Bird brain, muscle brain. Like, that's just how I was for a really long time. I would just go through the motions. And I'm choosing not to. I'm choosing not to just see this two-dimensional. It's ironic, right? It's ironic. I'm not watching animes and becoming two-dimensional and just checking it off and saying on to the next one. I had my fun. I had my fill. No. I'm telling myself, what did I find within this anime that's impactful for me? How can this help me? How can this help you? Teamwork, struggling, darkness, mistakes. Anime is there's just so much nuance in it. And there's so much variety. You could literally have any anime about anything. And there's something for everyone. There really is something for everyone when it comes to, you like sports or sports anime, just skiing, just kayaking. Just look at fucking Dr. Stone. They pretty much do everything. Just look at One Piece. They pretty much do everything as well. Fighting, school. A lot of this stuff centers around Japan, but still. You can find something for you. So, that's what's great about animes. I don't just see it as, just another show. I just don't see it just as a simple hobby. while I do just consider it a hobby, it's not necessarily a lifestyle, but rather something that I consider that has become valuable. You know, like, people are not gonna watch anime. Not everyone's gonna watch anime. They somehow make it in this world without it. It's fine, but I still see it as valuable. You know, if you do pick it up, if you do start watching it, you can find value in it. But I just made it a little bit more valuable than everything else that I do, because it's a medium that resonates with me. It's a medium where I can find those nuggets. I can find the meaning. And that's what I hope to accomplish here. You know, that's what I hope to accomplish here, is maybe think outside the box. See something maybe you didn't really see. There's just so much to consume in anime that the work is endless. You know, I could really make thousands of videos in one day, and there will still be plenty more anime to talk about. But just like with scriptures, anime has a lot of nuance, a lot of different types of messages, and I'm here for it. You know, I'm not really necessarily the best person to be interpreting anime, because I'm like probably the most emotionless person you'll ever meet. I don't take shit serious. But that's why this has become a new challenge for me, to actually talk about anime. How do I feel about certain scenes, sequences, OSC, backgrounds, all this different stuff. It really is a challenge. It's hard for me to put into words what I actually think. But because I've taken this challenge, I think I've elevated myself, not as a gatekeeper, but the person that you see in front of you as Roscoe Sensei. We all gotta start somewhere. And I simply just started with animes.